So I dealt with everything I had to deal with, but I still listened, and I've got all the smoke in the world for Bumpkin and for Muslim Guy.
Good.
Oh my God. Dude, like the shit that they were saying was so off. I tried to run into the chat as much as I could, but it just didn't keep up with the conversation.
Now, don't get me wrong. That other guy that came up, some of the stuff he was saying, I don't have a problem with it. You know?
Yeah, the problem is, though, is that the shit he was saying wasn't actually accurate. So the way it was wrapped sounded like it was sensible, but it isn't.
Right.
So,
and the packaging is everything.
So here's the deal. Ray and I are going to do a reaction video to this stream. And I'm just going to completely murder their entire ideology.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going just that part of it, though, right?
And just with facts. Because what I don't want is people thinking, oh, well, that sounds sensible. Because literally nothing they said was true. At the end of the day...
Well, the Angry Snowman channel might do a reaction stream to your reaction stream.
You definitely should. Because basically, at the end of the day, the easiest way to basically summarize the real problem is that whether you're calling it fascism, communism, socialism, whatever they wanted to call it, statism, whatever you want to call it, the real problem with it is that, number one, it's never worked. So when they say it's the eventual, it's where every political view ends up going, right? That's inaccurate, because almost all of that ideology died in the Second World War. So already false. But
I mean, I thought that's what the Second World War was basically fought over, was trying to end that ideology.
And that is where you're wrong. The Second World War was fought over economic power and imperialism. The only reason the UK got involved was because of Poland. Funny enough, the UK only wanted to contain Germany, didn't do anything about communism because the Soviet Union survived World War II, and they also invaded Poland. It was picky and choosy, and they saw Germany as the bigger threat. But I digress.
It was, and ironically, the problems that we're seeing today is because of our adoption of a lot of those ideals during the New Deal. The New Deal not only created but prolonged the Great Depression.
The New Deal started in 1933. The Great Depression started in 1929. It was in August of 1929. But he's going to defeat our ideology with facts and logic. No, what he's going to do is he's going to attempt to do so using historical revisionism, and then when it inevitably fails, he's going to dive into personal attacks and comedy. He's going to use obfuscation and comedy, personal attacks as well. It's what I've seen how he deals with other people on other streams. Personally, I don't give a shit. I'm not here for a dialogue. I said that in the back chat because Snowman disappeared before I could get back on. And, I mean, I think it's kind of gay to even, like, do a reaction stream to a stream where you want people to act an ass and say things. Like, you want controversy in this stream. But, I mean, by all means, feel that fills you with purpose, do it. Because, I mean, by this alone, you've already blown the fuck out of your own argument. You've already... It's foolish, man. Like, the New Deal created and prolonged the Great Depression that started in 1929. Oh yeah, it was supposed to only be a 6-month recession, right? Yeah, the New Deal policies were not enacted until 1933. But I digress.
That's what I thought.
Really? Wait. You're saying a lot right now.
I know. I'm sorry. It was a lot.
So the New Deal prolonged the recession, the depression?
Yeah, and it's funny that you made that slip because in all actuality, it should have been about a 6-month recession.
I've never heard this.
But the New Deal and Keynesian economics turned it into the Great Depression.
Keynesian economics weren't put into place until after World War II. In fact, we got in the full swing of Keynesian economics in the 1950s. But again, I digress. See, I'm not an intellectual masturbator. I don't get off on reading books, and I don't fault those who do. But I'm not gonna care if somebody goes to stores. I know this information because I've read it. I did the best I could in school, and I actually applied myself in my education. I'm not here to educate the retards. That's not my job. Don't give a shit about doing it, because if you argue with a fool, that makes two fools.
Elaborate on that just a bit.
Yeah, that's all.
It's a big elaboration. So basically, the confiscatory policies that he put in and the higher taxes.
Hold on, kiddies. Get your notebook and your pencil and pens out and take notes on the big words that he's using so you understand what the fuck he's saying.
I'm gonna have to Google all this shit. He said like 5 words I never heard in my life. I don't even know how to pronounce them.
I'm sorry. So real quick.
That's called obfuscation. And obfuscation is nothing but verbal trickery. But let him continue.
Like just for a little bit of background, I'm a huge history nerd and a huge
So am I. Challenge accepted.
Political nerd.
Are you? What kind of history are you like from? See, I do history from pretty much World War II up till, from World War One up until now. I don't know about later or earlier stuff.
So you're not really, but you don't know much about Keynesian economics?
No, I've heard of it, but I
all you need to know about Keynesian economics, it is forever growth. Continuous expansion, continuous growth in the economy. Never let the economy stagnate. Always grow the economy. Everything exists to benefit the economy, and unfortunately, that's simply not true. You can't have forever growth. You can't have exponential growth.
I never really kind of
delved into,
because a lot of these things, like I said, a lot of these things are like theory or an opinion.
Yeah,
no, and there's a lot of things that go on that kind of create the conditions. But go ahead.
I'm talking just straight factual shit, like just what happened. So John Maynard Keynes was
facts, straight fact shit. The Great Depression was caused by the New Deal, which came 3 years later.